And we're back with another episode of What's Hockey. As we always do, we go around that
Every
hockey to
single
start.
time.
Keaton, what's been happening?
We got a few things happening. Your boy Brandon Sad is sad no more. He got signed by the Vegas Knights. So he is on a contender, dipping out of St. Louis because I know they've been kind of dipping low in the rankings. I know the Jim Montgomery buff was pretty nice, but they've kind of sucked lately. So now he's going on to greener pastures, even though it's kind of a desert in Las Vegas. Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to go a little bit further than the St. Louis Blues would have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and a few other trades have happened. We've got Andrei Kuzmenko,
Kuzmenko.
Jacob Pelletier, and a second rounder in 2025 and a seventh rounder in 28 has been traded to the Flyers. In exchange, the Flames get Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee. The pair of forwards look to help the Flyers in the future, as well as their Flames get to look to add depth and longevity to the forward position, because Frost and Farabee both are like under 26. They're 25 and 24 respectively. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's adding some good youth to the team and hopefully, a bit of experience as well.
Oh, for sure. And in an interview, the GM of the Flyers was basically saying that they're not going to be able to come to terms on re-signing them going forward. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you're bringing in what you can at that point. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and Morgan Frost actually does make immediate impact in his first game and scores oh no, it was his second game. My bad. But he does score a goal for the Flames, so it's just great, for Mr. Frost. But yeah.
Would you say that the Flames are thawing off the frost? That's horrendous. Let's keep moving.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I hated it.
All right, so we've got a big rift in the Canucks, aforementioned. JT Miller and Mr. Pedersen is no more. JT Miller ends up going to the Rangers along with Eric Brandstrom and Jackson Dorrington. They'll look to turn around the Rangers' gross bit of losing. So hopefully they'll be able to turn that around, maybe even sneak into the playoffs. Hopefully not for the Red Wings' sake. But yeah, the Canucks end up getting Philip Hedl and Victor Mancini, as well as a first-round pick in this year's draft.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and of course, JT
Rangers
Miller
definitely get a playmaker out of Miller.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Of course, he's a second stint with them. He got drafted there, so look to, I guess, have a familiar jersey or colors.
And I don't know how much of a locker room cancer he was, or how much it was Pedersen's fault or whatever. But yeah, you get a fresh start where you've been welcomed before. So it should be at least, hopefully, it's a healthier relationship for him going forward with the Rangers.
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw like a couple of pictures with him and Trocheck, like eating barbecue in their like loft or whatever the fuck.
Some good old New York barbecue.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was just meat, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Canucks end up getting that first rounder, so it should help out. And even if they end up missing the playoffs, it is a top 13 protected first round pick. So it does look like JT Miller makes immediate impact with 2 goals against the Bruins on Saturday, which was pretty crazy. And I think he got 2 assists in the next game. So he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Canucks do stay busy, end up trading another round of players with Vincent Descharnais, Danton Heinen, Melvin Fernstrom, and a 2025 first rounder to Pittsburgh, which I believe it's probably what they got from the Rangers, but either way.
Yeah.
They do get Marcus Pettersson, which is absolutely ridiculous, and Drew O'Connor. So with 2 Elias Petterssons and now Marcus Pettersson, like, what are they? The Vancouver Petterssons. So they ability to get that toss. Sorry,
They
what?
immediately re-signed him. I guess is it immediately
Yeah,
signed him
they
to a
got
long
a
term?
6 year, $5.5 million a year contract.
Yeah,
So pretty, pretty good. And I mean, they want to keep on with both of those Elias Petterssons or Elias Petterssons. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. It's
I
weird,
think it's Elias,
but
right? I've yeah.
that's what I thought. But I heard some guy say Elias, so I was like,
Oh,
what the hell?
okay. No one knows how to pronounce
So
anyone's name in this entire sport. Like, oh, my God.
there's
Okay.
too many weird names out there, dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what the Canucks can do. I mean, they've hit a bit of a rough stretch. I mean, they're basically neck and neck with the Utah Hockey Club, which is kind of gross, at least for the Canucks' sake. So yeah,
Well, they are.
yeah. Go ahead.
They're tied on points with the Flames as well. Both those teams 6 ahead of Utah. So it's going to
Yeah,
be interesting coming down to the wire. I don't think that it's as dramatic as the Eastern Conference. Like I don't think the Blues, although the Blues are tied on points with Utah, have played one more game. I don't see like the Blues coming into the playoff picture. I think I would assume Flames and
it's more
Vancouver.
likely to me that the Ducks eclipse both of those teams and make a stand for the playoffs. I'm not saying that they'll enter the playoffs, but
Man,
they'll make a better stand than the other two teams. Because honestly, the Ducks
God.
have been looking pretty all right. I mean, dog, they beat the Stars.
Yeah, and we'll talk
So, I
about
mean,
that
they had a
later.
decent game,
No, they did, man. I'm not
so,
trying to take credit away from them. It's just, yeah,
so the Ducks have been playing all right.
they've definitely
But anyway,
been on a
definitely better than
incline.
they have been. That's
Yeah,
all
they
I
started
know.
the season horribly and kind of like
Yeah,
how we
just like the
presumed.
Sharks.
Did they not fire their? I should look it up before I just start
I mean,
rambling. But I think
they
they replaced their manager not too long ago.
that could have been the case, but I do know they got Truba, and then what's his name? That dude came back, Zegras, Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, and he went ahead and scored against us. Now
Classic.
Verbeek's been
But
there for a
anyway,
while, so ignore that.
speaking of Dallas, Dallas ends up getting Mikhail Granlund and Cody Ceci from the Sharks, which is kind of crazy because I feel like they should have kept Granlund. I mean, he playing pretty well, but it looks like the Stars are looking to win this year. I
Yeah,
mean,
man. I
they've shipped out quite a bit. It looks like they got a first rounder and a conditional third rounder in this year's draft. So I mean, they do add a bit of veteran presence, but I mean, they've been
but
tried and true for the most part. I
I
mean, I
will
know
say,
CC and Granlund have been playing
yeah,
pretty
I
well.
think it was a really good trade actually. Because I know you're giving up the first, but the Stars have a ton of depth when it comes to prospects. We have a lot of young players coming up the ranks that are extremely talented. And I feel pretty good that we didn't have to give up one of those players. We do give up the first, of course, but bringing in Granlund, he's more of a tried and true center. He's effective on power plays as well, and so that allows us to have a more
Definitely
sturdy
helps out with the
line.
Sagan injury too. So
And of course, yeah, there is the injuries going on where Sagan's out for a while. Marchman just came back actually 2 games ago, but I mean he was injured, and then we've got like Maverick Bork took a puck to the was it a stick to the face or puck to the face? He's injured, and then on the defensive side, of
classic.
course, Miro is out, and Labushkin got hurt, but I think he's back or should. I got to check. It just happened against the Ducks, the most recent game, so I don't. There's no update that I've seen. But those players, regardless of the injuries, are the type of players that you want going into the playoffs that add depth to your squad. And in Granlund's first game, he goes ahead and gets an assist to Logan Stankoven. So, I mean,
Yeah,
immediate
and
impact.
that was definitely the best trade Dallas did that day. So yeah, just
Okay.
saying.
Yep, yep.
Uh,
We don't need to talk about that.
Next up, we've got Ryan Hartman, who got suspended for 10 games with a takedown on Stutzla. I mean,
Stusla.
it did look Stutzla, whatever. It looked pretty much like gravity took its course. It's not like he really forced it. I mean, he did fall on top of him. But in comparison to what Connor McDavid did, I feel like, with a 3-game suspension, it should have been a little bit more equal.
So
But
I think
McDavid couldn't be out for so many games, so you had to limit his suspension, of course.
that's egregious. I think that the thing with McDavid getting only 3 games, like that was a straight check to the head of damn, I forget the player's name,
He like fucking humped him, dude.
and he was all over him. I mean, that was egregious. That should be the suspension that gets 10 games. The thing about this suspension between Hartman and Stusla, I was listening to that DLL podcast I was telling you about. And Craig Ludwig, former Dallas Star, was talking on there, and he was saying that essentially, like Hartman, he's known for his face-off wins. Stutzla essentially knocks his stick out of his hands. Hartman's immediate reaction is to basically grab the back of his head and drive him onto the ice. And so I think just on TV and us not like I've never played hockey. I can't even skate, so I won't ever pretend to like know the intricacies of the game like I do with like basketball or football. But essentially, what he was saying was Hartman knew exactly what he was doing. He was intentionally driving his head into the ice, and so is it 10 games? I don't know, but it was intentional. It was dirty. And the idea is that when you say,
I just mean to be fair with the suspensions, because I mean, with Connor McDavid having such a name, and then Ryan Hartman's not really that big of a name compared to McDavid. I mean, they're gonna give him 3 games in comparison. It's just nonsense.
and he did mention too that when you expand the suspension above 3 games, then you can have an in-person sit-down, a meeting. Like I guess that's by the CBA or whatever agreement
I
that
mean,
they
that's what
have,
he did, and then that's what they
and they
rolled
upheld it.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And again, like I'm not going to pretend that I know all of Ryan Hartman's career. This could be like the third time he's done something similar to this. So.
It's probably his 8th. We don't even know. He could be Matt Rempe in disguise.
Yeah. I also like just speculating that this guy is the worst guy to ever exist. But yeah, I mean, it was dirty. So yeah, he misses 10 games.
I mean, either way. I mean, with not too many games coming up, and having that long break, it'll just be kind of a weird thing to come back and still be suspended.
He's gonna have stale legs. He's gonna not have played in an entire month, which is wild.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. Up next, we get Carol Marchenko needing surgery for a broken jaw in the loss against the Stars. It's a brutal blow for the Blue Jackets, honestly, to look to hold their spot.
Did you see
in the
how
wild card.
he broke the jaw or how it occurred?
I didn't look it up. I don't like looking up injuries like that.
Fair enough. And I don't think there's a clear shot of it. I just remember hearing it on the same podcast. But essentially, he was watching the iPad, studying what had just occurred in the game, and a puck came flying up into the bench area and hit him in the jaw.
Oh, man.
So it wasn't even on the ice.
Chilling on the bench.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That's tough.
Yeah, they're also without Dante Fabro, which is one of their main D-men. So, I mean, looking pretty thin coming up in the late stretch of the season. So it kind of sucks. But we've got Jeff Petrie, who's a Red Wing. He's been out for, I guess, since January 2nd. Will undergo surgery and will be out even longer. To be honest, I mean, he really wasn't doing anything before he got injured. And we've gotten some young and up-and-coming players with Albert Johansson, Simon Edvinsson, and just having a good mix of players and being able to bring up like Dominic Shine. So, I mean, I don't know. He could stay injured. But, I mean, when he comes back and we're potentially in the playoffs, he'll add some depth to the position. But honestly feel like when he does come back, there's really not much of a need for him. Maybe he's a healthy scratch or at least just a rotational mix in. But, yeah, I mean, he's been solid since, but this season he's just been a disappointment.
Gotcha.
And, yeah. But, yeah, Alex Ovechkin scores his 25th goal of the season, especially with how ridiculous it was. It was an empty netter, and it was just at the end of the game. Everyone's just letting up, and he just shoots it in, and it's 0.1 second before the game ends, so they have to do another face-off to end the game
God.
anyway. But
All for
they
this
end up
man's
winning
ego.
6-3. Hey, man. I saw. I was watching the end of the game because I don't remember who assisted, but I saw the puck go straight to Ovechkin. They were just like, "Hey, get it, go get it." So I mean, I know he's probably had like 5 or 6 empty net goals this season, but
yeah.
I mean, so have a lot of other players. So I mean,
Sure.
to be fair,
I just don't want this to be a habit that at the end of every game.
It probably will. I mean, might as well.
I don't know. I was really respecting the pace.
He's only 17 goals away, but yeah.
Okay, but if 12 of those 17 are empty netters, I'm gonna be pissed. That's not good enough for me.
What can you do?
I also like the idea that I'm ignoring his stellar over 10-year career for his last.
Yeah, he's been out for
goals.
16 games.
No, yeah,
and he's still got 25 goals. And like Draisaitl's probably played the whole season. And he's got 38 to lead. So I mean,
Ovechkin,
missing 16 games, he probably could have gotten those 13 goals.
I mean, but anyway, way that they're just giving him empty nets at the end of every game. Yes, you're right.
He's only gotten 6.
Okay.
Out of his 25, out of 25, that's insane.
No,
I mean, he's gotten quite a bit of power play goals as well.
I think since he got back from injury, I think that, and I should look it up. I don't know how much of the 6 have been in the last month, but I feel like you mentioned it last podcast that, they're giving empty netters, and I was kind of like, all right, that's fine. But then it happens again, and it's going to happen for the rest of the season, I assume, but yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
I know.
I mean, it's like asking Saquon to sit out for the last game of the season just because they don't want him to make a record.
Yeah.
That's lame.
That is lame. You're right. Okay. Continue. Oh,
but anyway.
Is it Detroit Red Wings talk time?
I mean, yeah, we got 4 games to go over. I projected we went 3-1. We ended up going 4-0. We're on a 7-game win streak, pretty hot and
nice,
ready, just like Little Caesars Arena. And we play a bit of a rough start against the Oilers, jumped to an 0-2 score within the first 11 minutes of the game, a power play goal by Draisaitl. It was just dumb luck, honestly. It just bounced in. Nothing you really can do about those. But, yeah. Just unfortunate. And, another easy goal for Jeff Skinner as well for that second one. But end up coming back halfway through the second with the first goal with Michael Rasmussen sniping the top right corner of the net. It was a pretty solid goal. Not even 2 minutes later, we tie it up thanks to Dylan Larkin with an assist by Marco Kasper, another aforementioned young player who's been playing pretty well. Luckily, Alex Lyon played a hell of a game. He's saved 45 shots on goal out of 47.
Jesus.
We end up winning that game in, I believe it was overtime. Yeah, it was a shootout victory with the assistance of Lucas Raymond. I believe he was the shootout winner. And both Dylan Larkin and Draisaitl had 10 shots on goal. That was just a ridiculous game. End up moving on to the Flames and get out to a good lead early with 2 goals from Dylan Larkin and Simon Edvinsson. I believe Dominic Sean got his first NHL point. That's a great story, a 31-year-old player who's only pretty much played in the AHL and only ever wanted to play for the Grand Rapids Griffins. And, he finally got his shot to play in the NHL and got his first point. I think his first game was the Oilers, but he's got his first point in the Flames game. So pretty solid. Unfortunately, they put him back in the AHL. So I don't know why. But either way, played a pretty good game.
That also could be like a quick cap maneuver, and they bring him back up soon.
Well, they did sign him to a 2-year contract, and I don't know like the ins and outs of the contract, but I assume it's like up and down.
Yeah, the 2-way
depending
contract.
on need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, jumped to a great lead of 3-1 to end the game. Cam Talbot had 33 out of 34 saves.
Wow.
So this stretch of games we've been playing pretty well defensively because the first 7-game win streak we had a bunch of goals. We were playing very well offensively. We had like the best power play ever. We were like, I don't know, 40 to 50%. I don't know. It was ridiculous. But this time we're just on a defensive stretch. Everyone's playing pretty solid hockey and defense. So, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned with Jeff Petrie being out, I mean, we've been playing pretty well. And Moritz Seider ends up playing his ass off against the Flames. He's got 4 blocks and 3 hits and over 25 minutes played. So,
dude, yeah,
if you ever
he's
need him to,
I think one thing
come through on a prize picks, you can always just bet on him.
Right.
He's playing really well.
You would know better because I know you watch Red Wings games at a much higher consistency than I do. But what you're telling me as far as the amount of saves made at such a high percentage, and then you add on Mort Seider's blocks and everything, what I'm gathering essentially is that y'all's defense is clearing out both Cam Talbot and Alex Lyon's visions. You're not letting people stay in front of him so they're able to make saves that normally with bad defenses those goals would be allowed. So essentially, like, while y'all are letting a lot of shots, it doesn't seem like they're good quality shots, and that's a testament to how the defense would be playing.
Yeah, and I mean, it also just adds to the goalies just playing a lot more sound hockey. I don't know. I mean, they've been playing their ass off. There's been a lot of saves that most of the time I kind of just listen on the radio, but a lot of the, I can't remember who they are. But, yeah, they're always just, oh, what a great save by Alex Lyon. Oh, what a great save by Talbot, etc. So, I mean, they're making great plays. So it's not just, bad quality shots per se, but I mean, they've been playing pretty well as well.
Okay. Gotcha. That's awesome.
But yeah, we go to the Canucks. I think it was a next day, so we played back to back against the Canucks. Yeah. And it was a pretty good game as we start to a disadvantage. Pius Suter, I think, gets things started for Vancouver, and I believe he was an ex-Red Wing, so kind of sucks. Just, one of those backstabbers. We'll have to boo him the next time we see him or something. I don't know. But DeBrincat ends up tying things up about 6 minutes into the first. 20 minutes later into the second period, we jump ahead to a 2-1 lead thanks to Ben Sherratt. Pretty nice. Newly added Philip Hedl from New York ties things up about halfway through the third, and Alex ends up playing a hell of a game because he doesn't let any more goals from that point, and we end up winning in overtime against them. DeBrincat gets a pass from Lucas Raymond and Mo Seider to win the game. So he ends up having 2 goals that game. So, I mean, we've got 3 players, Larkin, DeBrincat, and Lucas Raymond, over 20 goals this season. So playing pretty well offensively as well. So pretty great.
For sure.
And play the Kraken again. I believe we played them before, but maybe not. I remember Matty Beniers being crazy, but whatever. But ends up winning in a shootout victory, which is pretty crazy because Patrick Kane ends up getting that shootout winner. And I think I sent it to you, Rudy, but basically whenever he was on the Blackhawks, like his first shootout goal ever was the exact same as he did it last night.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a ridiculous, like, oh, wow. Oh, he still got it. And It also is just kind of funny because it's like, if you know him and have watched him play, why wouldn't you guard that play? It's ridiculous. But, he makes it pretty hard for goalies to stop his shots. Yeah. I mean, it's just, he's a great player. Showtime Kane. But anyway, plays a hell of a game. We end up winning that. I think it was 5-4 to end the game. So end up getting another 2 points, and we are first in the wild card standings.
Yeah, man.
So need to hold off the Lightning, Blue Jackets, Rangers, Islanders, all these other teams. It's ridiculous.
I don't know what
Even
the
the
hell.
Montreal Canadiens.
I don't know what the hell Drew was doing as your head coach,
Oh,
but
he was so
y'all
nonsense.
have completely flipped the script. Y'all have come storming into the playoff picture where now, yeah, you are the first in the wild card. So I
And
mean,
it's crazy because like all those things about Derek Lalonde, like Dylan Larkin was saying, how it's nice to have someone with coaching experience, and a lot of like other things that just like kind of give him a dig. And it's just like all of these things are totally true. Like, what the hell was he doing?
it
Like,
almost
how
sounds
did
like
he get his
y'all.
credentials in the first place?
Yeah,
Like, who did he like hypnotize RGM
you
or
lost a
like?
bet and you had to find the hire the worst coach you could. Like
I
I
don't
don't.
understand.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't get what
incredible.
was going on.
But
But
complete
hey,
180, complete
it
180.
also does help because I mean the players do buy in to the new coach change. Because I mean, if you don't buy in, you're not going to be as successful. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
just I
Well, and the thing too
absolute
is y'all
nonsense.
have talent. Y'all have good,
Oh yeah,
like great
absolutely.
players even. And so now that they're able to perform at the level that they should have been all along, and it has to do with coaching and the system and everything. I mean, that's
I feel
honestly
like
like a
we're similar with the Stars as far as like having some young prospects where we could just try to go through the process of like shipping out some draft picks to help bolster the team for
yeah.
a
I
late
would expect y'all
stretch.
to make a move at the deadline or before the
I would hope
deadline for
so.
sure.
I mean, I know I've been harping on the goalies. I mean, they've been playing pretty well this late stretch, but I mean, if one of them gets injured and we have to add Philly Huso again, gonna have to,
Ooh, ooh.
gonna have to, I don't know, resort to drinking or something. I don't know, but yeah, gonna be a rough stretch if that ever happens. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to have three goalies, but it also doesn't make sense to use Philly Huso. So
Yeah, I think the less time that he's on the ice, the better for the Red Wings.
at least in my opinion, I mean, who knows? But either way, I just hope that we could get maybe another D man or something like that, just to help the young players out with, I don't know, just veteran presence. Because I mean, with uh, who we've got Ben Sherrod, who's been playing okay, but like I don't know. After that, it's pretty rough
I honestly don't
because
think you can have enough defensive players on a team, especially when it comes to the playoffs, man. Depth
yeah.
is
Because
everything,
with like
especially making a
Justin
deep
Hall,
run.
he's been okay, but he's just not been as steady as well as Eric Gustafson. I mean, he's been all right, but I just feel like we need one of the like I don't know, what's his name, Brock Faber. I don't know his first name. It's like B Faber,
Faber. I know of
Brandon
Faber, but
Faber
I don't know his first name
from the
either.
Wild.
Yeah,
If we
yeah,
could get him,
yeah.
that'd be insane. Just like having one of those like extra just studs would
Hmm.
just be crazy. Because I mean, we've got some great offensive power. Maybe we can, I don't know, get rid of Tarastanko, but he's been okay, but he's just not doing anything
I
as
mean,
expected.
maybe
Because I
y'all.
mean, coming from the Panthers, I think he had a 20-goal season. He's probably had 5 goals at best this whole season, and
Yeah,
he hasn't been injured. I don't think
what
he's
would
missed a game.
be, I think what would be fantastic, and I'm not going to pretend I know who's on the trade block right now, who's not going to re-sign with their current team, so they're going to be moved. But if you can pull off a similar trade to the Granlund CC trade, bringing in both defensive help and also someone who's consistent to add to your offensive lines, I think that that would do wonders for a team like the Red Wings who are already surging, but just adding that extra depth towards the back end of the roster.
Yeah, because I mean, we still need to shore up the playoff spot. Because I mean, Boston, Lightning, they're all like right there, and we only have like one more point. And I know the Senators have one more point than us, and they could slip, but I don't know. I feel like it's more likely that we'll have to fight teams off for a wild card spot more than being able to just jump ahead into the first three. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, but
It looks pretty good regardless.
it is. I mean, you're only one, like you just said, that Senators have one more point than y'all, but you could absolutely get above them, and you won't even have to worry about the wild
I
card.
mean,
You'll
even the
be a
Panthers,
playoff
they're
team.
only 6 points away. So I mean, all we need is like another 3 games to win, and the Panthers just shit the bed, as well as the
Or I mean, like the
Maple
Maple
Leafs.
Leaves. Maple Leaves, they do have one less game played than y'all, so that doesn't help too much. But 5 points ahead, that's not an insurmountable lead. With I know the next 2 weeks are going to be filled with four nations, but you have essentially like two and a half
Because
to
we play
three
the Lightning
months.
next, as far as our next game before that stretch of break
Mhm.
for that Four Nations, and hopefully Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond don't get hurt because they play in the face off. But yeah, I mean, I think we should win against the Lightning. That should be a decent game because I mean they are one of the other playoff games or playoff teams currently,
Yeah.
wild card. So I mean, I kind of figured that the Blue Jackets would go, but they've kind of gotten hurt. Kind of sucks, but yeah. And then I don't know, Boston's right there. I don't know. Boston's been kind of weird. I know that they probably should and could make the playoffs, but they've just been kind of a question mark
They're
all
pretty
year.
inconsistent, and I like they have big names, of course, but I the rest of the rosters doesn't seem like they can hold up their end. But
Yeah,
switching from the Red Wings to the Stars, we played 3 games since we last recorded. We went ahead and hosted the Canucks, where we took that one 5-3. That one started with
nice.
Colin Blackwell making a great play. I don't remember exactly the name of the defenseman on the Canucks, but behind his own goalie's net, the defenseman has it. Colin Blackwell comes up, hits him, takes the puck, goes around, passes. I think it was a backhand or was it front forward? Anyway, it was a good pass,
One of
but
those.
dude, stealing that puck away in the attacking end, getting the pass, and then he assists Oscar Beck to open up the scoring in that game 1-0. It was just such a great effort play, and it goes to that depth that I was talking about earlier, where Colin Blackwell is like a fourth line guy. And making great effort plays like that. And when your opposing goalie is Thatcher Demko, a very, very high level goalie, I mean, you need opportunities from all four lines coming in. And so great play there. Oscar Beck puts it in. There's a, let's see. Oh, we go ahead and, why did I? Oh, yeah. Okay. Vancouver, they do have a 3-on-2 breakaway. Garland puts it in the net. The net's wide open. Ottinger, I think he came out a little too far, in my opinion. Again, don't play hockey. I never played hockey. I never could imagine what goes through a goalie's mind, but he kind of scooted to the left and forward. They pass, crosses face, Garland wide open net. Ottinger kind of throws a stick at it, but there's nothing you can do. So quick goal there. They tied up 1-1. The Stars have a power play, and our power play was horrendous to start the year, like bottom 2 in the league. We've moved up to 22nd, which doesn't sound
That's
great,
great.
but if you can move up 8 spots in a month, I think that shows that you're vastly improving, especially compared to some other teams in the league. And so, passing really well. I think it was Duchesne who set up the Robertson goal. I could be wrong on that, but I mean, it was just there's nothing the defense could do. They were just watching the puck go by them, and then it's just in the back of the net, and there's genuinely nothing they could do. Robertson, good to see him continuing to score and put up points, and he'll do that later on in this game. But before that, Hintz on a breakaway. He's so fast, man. So he's on a breakaway. Kind of, there's a defenseman trying to catch up to him. He cuts off the angle, backhands it, goal through the legs of Thatcher Demko. That's followed up by an empty netter. There was a shorthanded goal. Vancouver's on the power play. I think there's like 3 minutes left. They're on the power play and they take their goalie out. So they're going for the 2-man advantage. Rope Hens goes ahead and takes care of business there. Vancouver, they're still on the power play. They do end up scoring to make it 4-2. Robertson, empty netter, 5-2. And finally, with 3 seconds left, Vancouver goes ahead and scores one more goal to make it 5-3. And that one, I mean, there's so much traffic in front of the net. Ottinger, it's almost like he didn't see the pass that led to the one-time goal occur because, I mean, he was kind of standing still, looking, and then the puck just goes right by him. He didn't cover off that angle at all. Again, there's only 3 seconds left, and you were up by 3 goals at that point. So how much effort was there? I don't know. But Vancouver does score there. 5-3 is the final score there. Stars win that one.
Just updating his save percentage, you know.
Yeah, he got a little ruined there towards the end. We go ahead and play Columbus. That one was here in Dallas as well. That one also ended 5-3 with the Stars starting real slow. It was Sillinger in net. Well, I say
it was
Stars
3-3 at one point. So I mean,
yeah. Okay, so I say start slow. I don't think that's completely accurate. The Stars had 6 shots on goal before Columbus got their first one, but that first one went in the net. And so it's 1-0 Columbus with a 6-1 shot on goal advantage for the Stars. Leon Bischel, he kind of like passes it in. Marchment on his return back from injury deflects it. And we go ahead and tie it up 1-1 there. So great to see Marchment back in the lineup. Glad he's recovered and then immediately productive. And Leon Bischel, I love this dude, man. Like, he's massive, and he's like 19. Is he 19? Is he 20? I gotta look that up. But he's a young gun, and he's very productive.
Son of a gun.
Dude, on the defensive end, like, if you try to set up in front of net, he's gonna mash you. He's gonna get you out of the way. And then on the offensive end, he's not afraid to throw it at the net. He's not afraid to throw the puck at the net, shoot, or anything. And I think we need more direct attacks like that sometimes because we are so skilled. I think we think that, all right, we'll just pass around, we'll find it. Sometimes we do, but I love just, all right, let's just shoot that thing and let it be a rebound goal or let it be deflected, just whatever. And so he does a really good job of that. And so, yeah, setting up Marchment there, tying the game up. Fantilli, who has been a monster for Columbus, goes ahead, gives them the lead, 2-1 there. So Stars back down. We go ahead and follow that up with Granlund on his debut, as I had mentioned earlier, getting an assist. He sets up Logan Stankoven. He was patient as he's gliding into the offensive zone. There's a defender kind of trying to stay in between him and Stankoven and the goalie, of course. And he just saucer passes it, beautiful. Stankoven puts it in the net.
You know, it wasn't Fantilli that scored. It was Voronkov.
Voronkov got... okay. That one might have been deflected then. I could have sworn it was Fantilli who got that goal.
It was probably a tip.
Okay. I could have... Okay.
Good old tipping.
Yeah. But anyway, that was followed up with Provorov scoring a goal. And
classic.
There was no one
classic
near
Provorov.
him. There's no one near him, man. I felt like defensively we were kind of disorganized in this game. And yeah, Provorov absolutely took advantage of that. Columbus was passing very well on the in the offensive zone, especially on that possession. So I mean, yeah, there's no one near him. Puts it in the net. That's followed up on the power play. Thank God I can finally say we're scoring goals on the power play, man. Harley sets it up to Wyatt Johnson. Wyatt Johnson gets under the puck, kind of chips it up, gets in the net, 3-3. And it's followed up. I think there's like 3 minutes left in the game. It's Harley again setting up a goal, this time to Dodonov. It was reviewed for like an hour because it is kind of a high stick. You're not allowed to deflect if it's above the goal post. And it was close, but it was deemed good. And so we'll take that. Harley, again, the last 2 assists there, which was, I like seeing our D-men, like Harley and Bischel, setting up goals the way they are. And so, yeah, we go ahead and take that one as Dodonov puts it away. And we can't forget the final goal where Dodonov again scores, this time on a wraparound. It goes off a defensive player's skate or the goalie's skate. They were both in that area. But Dodonov puts it in 5-3.
I hope the goalie's in the area.
Hey, sometimes they're not. As I alluded to earlier, Ottinger had a wide open net behind him for 2 goals in the last game. But anyway.
Pretty tragic.
We go from those 2 wins to a loss to the Anaheim Ducks. This one on the road. It was a 2-1 game. The
What can you
Stars,
do?
the Stars versus the Ducks, man. This is the second time we've lost them. We also lost to them in it was like in November. We lost them 4-2 in that game. This one 2-1.
Do you guys play more than twice?
They're in our conference, but not our division. I don't exactly know how many times we would play them in a season. Probably should, but
Classic, dude.
we do play them in March, and
So 3 times.
yes, just 3 times. Yeah, they've been a nightmare for us. Gibson, their goalie,
They're gonna sweep you.
their goalie. So it was his 500th game. 5,000 is ridiculous. Okay, 500th game in net.
5,000.
Yeah, that was too much.
Jesus.
500th game in net. He does win. Dude, he has a 91% save percentage. And he
That's not that much.
okay, and he wasn't good enough to be on the U.S. Four Nations team, which is wild to say about our goalies that we have in this country. But Gibson is outstanding. I think the only thing that's ever held him back is the offense never scores enough, so that like his wins or his win percentage should be way higher for someone of his save percentage. But yeah, we could not get to him. And then like we started the game very well attacking. The issue as the game went on, I think the Ducks defensively figured out exactly how to be the Achilles heel to the Dallas Stars, where they were really tight, compact. We could not get men in front of the net. And so it ended up being for the second half of the game. I mean, we're throwing pucks at the net from deep positions that aren't quality shots. And so, I mean, it kind of made it easy for Gibson. And credit to the Ducks. I mean, their last goal, the goal to make it 2-1, Zegras, I mentioned that Wyatt chip shot earlier. This one, it almost seemed like an optical illusion. It was a chip shot too, but like the stick just barely comes out of nowhere. You don't see it like really setting it up, and then it just flies. It was a really impressive goal for Zegras there. And so, yeah, the Ducks take care of business. Stars offensively, again, that second half of the game was just awful to me. I think that, and I think they would tell you too, that was not good enough. But going forward, we'll be playing 2 games before the Four Nations break. We're on the road in California right now, so we'll continue against the California teams, taking on the Kings tomorrow night. Another 9:30 start, which is horrendous. I can't stand it. And then Saturday we'll be traveling to San Jose to take on the Sharks. 9 o'clock game there. I do expect us to bounce back for those 2 games right before the Four Nations break, but what I really, really need is just health. Like, I would rather lose both games, but everyone comes out healthy, than winning both, but we lose Wyatt Johnson or we lose Rope. Like, health is paramount right now. And so, yeah, I do think we'll go 2-0 in that stretch, but again, just focus on the health. That's what I'm worried about. But Keaton, we be picking games. And you last week, for the first time in like 2 weeks, got the better of me. You scallywag.
Always the better of you.
You went 5-5. I went 4-6. That brings our totals to you, Keaton, at 50 and 46. The first one to 50, and I'm at 44 and 52. So this week there's a good heavy slate of games today. And we're going to go ahead and start with, if this will load right quick, we're going to start with the Senators and the Lightning. Spread in that one is -1.5 to Tampa Bay, and that is in Tampa Bay as well.
I'm rolling with the Senators in this one. Definitely going to take down the Lightning.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and give me the Lightning. I'll say they take care of business, and I will go ahead and gain a game on you.
You have no confidence in this pick whatsoever.
I'll be honest, though, I didn't have confidence in the Senators either. Like, that one's just, like, right in the middle for me, even though they are given that 1.5. goal spread. It's right down the middle. So I'll take
They've been
home
playing a
team.
lot better than the Lightning in the last few
Oh, don't
weeks.
get me wrong,
So
man. The Senators haven't been bad at all. So yeah, I'm taking home team though. Next game, Vegas traveling to New Jersey, taking on the Devils. Spreading that one is Devils plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
really, I saw
Yes.
earlier that the Golden Knights were plus 1.5.
Oh, currently on
They keep
ESPN
changing.
Bet NHL odds.
That's what I like pulled it up on ESPN.com. It's weird.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
pulled
No.
that up like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of wild.
Very. Who you got?
But gonna roll with the Golden Knights in this one. The Devils suck.
The Olden Knights for you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same there. Even though, no, you know what? With the plus 1.5, give me New Jersey. I think
Are they
they'll.
gonna do it?
Again, not extremely confident either way on this one because I could foresee Vegas winning this by a goal, and I just have to hope that they don't get the empty netter to then lose me that bet. But I'll take the Devils plus one and a
Classic.
half. Moving on, we got the Capitals and the Flyers taking. Why can't I speak right now?
I know.
Capitals Flyers in Philadelphia, spread in that game. Philadelphia plus 1.5. Who are you taking in that one?
I'm taking the Capitals, dude. The
The
Flyers
Capitals.
are much worse.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I will go ahead and say the Capitals, especially knowing that they are going for
Another
that empty
Ovechkin
netter.
empty netter.
Yeah, that empty netter, I think, is going to cover this bet, honestly. I think they'll be up by one, and then OV, they have to feed him, and he'll get it done.
They just have to.
They have
There's
to.
no other. There's
Uh,
no other
yeah,
reason.
100%. Utah and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Spreading that one is plus 1.5 to Columbus. Game is in Columbus, by the way. Who are you taking in that one?
I'm taking the Blue Jackets as thin as they are. I think that they're gonna stand up against the hockey club. So yeah, definitely gonna take a win in that one.
All right. Well, I don't think you are. I think they are undermanned, and I think that's going to be. I mean, they're Marchenko's leading them in scoring when it comes. Well, I think Warinsky has more, but for their forwards, he is their most uh, called upon to score when it matters most. So I will say Utah goes ahead and takes care of business there, even though they're minus 1.5. Carolina and Minnesota in Minnesota. Spreading that game is minus 1.5 to the Wild. Or I'm sorry, plus 1.5 to the Wild. Who are you taking there?
Nice dog. I'm probably gonna roll with the Wild in this one. Just having that plus 1.5 advantage.
That's a pretty wild prediction. I will go ahead and agree with you, unfortunately. Minnesota is. They've played a very good season. While I think Carolina's the better team, you give them plus 1.5 at home, and I think Minnesota will go ahead and cover that. Moving on. Florida Panthers, St. Louis Blues in St. Louis. Spreading that one is Blues plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
The Panthers in this one, they're gonna make light work of St. Louis. Good old Jim Montgomery. Gotta take another loss.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with that one as well. Panthers minus 1.5 for me. Moving on, we have the Avalanche and the Flames. This one in Calgary. Spreading that one is Flames plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm gonna roll with the Avalanche in this one. The Flames have been kind of a disappointment in this late stretch of this season, so
Have
yeah,
they?
rolling with the Avs.
I'm going Calgary. I swear every time we're making picks, Calgary's come through for me, so I'm not going to
Well, you
abandon that.
said last week that they always burned you.
I don't know. I was looking back at
You're
our
trash.
picks. They came through for me last week, by the way. I think if I'm looking
They're
at
probably
Calgary
trash.
Flames plus 1.5, they did come through. You took the Ducks, so yeah. If I was
The Ducks should have
bashing
won
their
that game.
name, if I was bashing their name, I apologize to them because I believe in them. Let's go Flames. Uh,
You hate the Flames.
nah, nah, nah. Moving on. Toronto Maple Leafs and the Kraken in Seattle. Spreading that one is Seattle plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm taking the Maple Leafs. Unfortunately, the Kraken just aren't so great.
Eesh. Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with that one. Yeah, Maple Leafs. Not much else to be said about the nasty Kraken. Moving on. And last game, we got the Vancouver Canucks and the San Jose Sharks. That one will be in San Jose, and they will be given plus 1.5. Keaton, who are you taking there?
I think the Canucks take this one as much as both teams have been kind of lame as of late, especially with the Sharks sending out two of the pretty solid players that they had. I don't know. Macklin celebrating. They're just looking for the future, so they're probably just going to take a loss in this.
I'm going Canucks as well. I do think there's also something to having a little bit more harmony going on in the locker room as well for Vancouver. So
Yeah, they got three Pedersons. I mean, they've got the family tree already.
And they do have the three Pedersen, so I will go ahead and take Vancouver in that one.
It's like the Three Musketeers.
So we have 3 games picked differently, or 4 games, so we will see how that goes. Keaton, our last segment, we always wrap it up with some prize picks. Your boy, last week, wins again. Thomas Cabot, don't know how to say his name, but I know his money is green. He went ahead and covered his time on ice. Tyler Toffoli went ahead and covered his shots on goal. So that's a win. And I'm going to follow that up with a win today. And that's going to be with Travis Konechny, his time on ice above 20.5. He's been averaging well over that. And
well over?
Okay, well, he's averaging over that by like a minute. And it's against Washington. I do think they're going to be fighting to the end, so I don't expect him to be sitting too much.
That's not true.
Fair enough.
They're going to be at a deficit for so long that he's going to be you don't even need to be out there at this point.
Well, I hope that that's not the case, and I'm pairing him with Nathan MacKinnon to get over 10 face-off wins. He is playing against the Calgary Flames, and I looked up, team face-off win percentage. Calgary's very low. I think they're like one of the bottom 5 teams on team face-off win percentage. So, that one's that should be pretty easy.
Pretty good, dog. Well, I did go 1-1 as per what seems to be the usual outing. Unfortunately, Cider did have more than 24.5 as the old faithful. But unfortunately, Palmieri did not get a hit. I don't know what he was doing in that game.
What a shame.
But, going to roll with a couple of great picks. I've got Austin Matthews with more than 11 face-off wins and Dylan Strome to have more than 1.5 shots on goal.
All right. So, well, we will
see.
Good. We will see if our bet's green. I mean, I feel like I've been on a solid stretch, and I would hate to see that go down the drain. And Keaton, I do believe in you. I believe in you and your picks, so we'll see how that goes.
They're always pretty good. They just always miss out on like one thing.
Yep.
Dude, come on.
Yep. I mean, they set those lines tight, man. But anyway, Keaton,
tight lines.
Is there anything that we are missing, forgetting?
No, that should be it. Look for the Red Wings to continue their 8-win streak after beating the Lightning on Saturday after this Four Nations face-off.
All right. Yes. Well, we shall see. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.